Moving on to another country is no small deal. It's hard to understand the language when you first get there, hard to get used to the little habits, like the way people say hi to each other, and what to do when you're complimented. It's hard to find a routine when you hardly know anyone. It's hard to find a home. But somehow, after 5 years, I'm at home. Is it because I've got a routine, whether it's job, washing dishes, calling family in the old country? Is it because of the people, having friends I can rely on and hang out with? Or maybe finally having picked up on all of the little parts to living in a different place? Because for the past 2.5 years, despite moving houses twice, I've been at home most of that time. I've been trying to understand this for the longest time, how to feel at home. When I was in my second year of university, I definitely felt I got the hang of the language. If anything, I knew the language as soon as I first arrived here. I'd been speaking English for about as long as I'd been speaking Romanian. But it was finally getting the kind of friends that you talk deep into the night to, and that you get up to some crazy shenanigans with. It was the kind of place in your heart. And in my final year, it was the same thing. There were people and memories making a home, not the address on the bank statement. Maybe that's why, after a couple of weeks of building up the place, I felt at home in my new house as in the old one. It took me a couple of nights, long nights of thought, and chatting to old friends, but I built an idea of what it means to be at home. Or how to become at home, from experience anyway. And I'd like to share that with all of you. Here goes. Number 3, counting down. Whether you're moving houses, countries, or shaking things up, the most important thing will always be to provide yourself a safe space. A place where you feel comfortable from all your daily worries. Your own royal palace, if you will. For those of us living in rented accommodation, sure, the space might not be as much, but you can get creative. If anything, that's more fun than just starting out with everything perfect. When you have to work to make a room look nice, it sure feels like you're being rewarded for that challenge that much more. Put up posters, photos. I once had a good friend put up his old train tickets as a reminder of where he'd gone. Maybe a nice frame on the wall, some fairy lights to light up the place. Get yourself a nice couple of throw pillows, maybe a bed cover that complements the room. I've been told it sounds girly, to which I respond, feeling happy in your own room has nothing to do with girliness or being a man's man. Make the room your own, in short. You need to take on the world from your own base, and how will you do that if you're not being comfortable there? Number 2. I think every time I moved to a new place, and even when I came back from holidays or took a break, what I really needed to get back in the game and feel like I belonged was to get myself busy again. Not just because it kept my brain occupied, but because that's how you feel your own value. If I don't feel valued, why would I feel good about myself? And if I don't feel good about myself, I then get frustrated with more than just my work. I come home unhappy. Feeling useful, whether I'm learning something new by reading or attending a course, or maybe the way I'm performing at work, or maybe it's at the gym. If I ever felt at home, it was because I felt that I fit in the place, and that the place fit me. In other words, the balance of routine and challenge. Number 1, the most important based on my experience. If you want to feel at home, it's the people. Every time I moved, every time I went to a foreign place, sometimes it was in the same city, merely 20 minutes away, but it felt new and it felt different. And it goes to show that people can make a place home. A meal, or a drink, that's usually all it took. A meal with the housemates, or a drink with the coworkers, hanging out with friends. I got to share my burdens and I got to see theirs on their shoulders. Maybe it was this kind of equality, to see that I'm not the only one. Or maybe it was someone listening to me. We're social beings after all, and the connections we make, especially when we're away from the friends and family where we were born, or in a place, they're crucial to feeling at home. No one is an island. So meeting up for a chat, for a beer, a glass of wine, a warm meal can really make a difference. I know sometimes a house can feel so cold even when the heating's on, and the colors can feel dull and the sun can feel crisp rather than heartwarming when you have no one to share it with. And I know plenty of people will snap back, oh, that's so cheesy and pointless, just tough it out and live with it. Maybe it is overused, but it's true. People need others. The attitude that anyone can just go their own way and be some sort of pioneer on their own is self-defeating. Why would having friends and people who support you make you worse at life? when sometimes what we need is exactly someone to help us with a spoonful of advice or a compliment. Those can really go a long way. Don't ignore the value of the people around you. I've made that mistake enough for all of us. These might be the things you need to make your house a home, or live out of a suitcase if you're the exploring type, or maybe make that big move knowing you can enjoy the place too. Feeling at home is about belonging, and to belong I always felt that I should first take in the place and see what it's all about. Have a safe place you can launch yourself from into new adventures. Keep it clean. It can do wonders. And above all, meet people. Hang out, go out, enjoy the company, be part of something bigger than yourself. And I know that even in my worst moments, it'll be one of these 3 things that rescues me. As always, I hope you found the video useful. Please leave a thumbs up if you liked it, a comment with your feedback, or subscribe if you loved it. See you next time. Ciao.